Hi everyone and welcome to Transparency Tuesdays. What I want to talk about today is effective communication, because communication is key in every single relationship. Where there is miscommunication, there will be misunderstanding, and misunderstanding is breeding ground for hurt, for fights that could have been avoided had there been effective communication. Let me give you an example. So my husband was having a bad day. Something had happened that made him feel that way, and I could see that is not okay. So I asked him, are you okay? Is something wrong? He said nothing is wrong. Well, I could see that something is wrong, but I thought, let me give him time, and then when he's ready, we'll talk about it. Then the time came when he was finally ready to talk about it, but he didn't just go in with everything. He gave a one-liner, sort of like a line to introduce the topic so that we could talk about what's wrong. So when he spoke, my response to him was, okay. And then that was it. He didn't speak. We had dinner in silence. So I was thinking, okay, maybe he just wanted to introduce the subject matter. Then later on, when he really is ready to talk about it, we'll talk about it. But actually, how he received my okay was, get over it, let's move on. And he was hurt by that, and that's why he kept quiet. So, and the thing is, my okay, had I texted it would have come with an ellipsis, because when I said okay, it was okay, tell me more, let's get into this. How is it hurting you? But yeah, we spoke about it, and what we both learned from that is that it's important that when you are communicating, you are being understood by the person you are communicating with. If you have to over explain, then go for it, but just always make sure that what you are saying and the intention that you are saying it with is being received by the other person. Just because it makes sense in your head does not mean the other person is receiving it the way you intended. But that's like a cute example. Another example, I was having a horrible day, and my husband and I had made plans to go out, but because of the way the day turned out, I canceled those plans. It's like I don't feel like going anyway. Then my husband was like, okay, let's just order in. But I still wanted to do a photo shoot regardless of how I was feeling, and my husband is the only photographer that I have. So we went out now to do this whole photo shoot. So how we do it is that he takes a few shots, and then I go over to check out the picture. Do I want him to change his angle? Do I want to change my pose? Do I like the lighting and all of that? So I went to one of the pictures and I was like, no, this picture makes me look fat. I don't like it. My husband, I don't remember his exact words, but basically he was agreeing with my comment that I look fat. And what girl wants to hear that they look fat? It doesn't matter if they look fat or they feel like they look fat. They don't want anyone confirming that. But my husband confirmed, and that hurt me. So the whole day, I was angry at him. This happened maybe around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. The rest of the day, I was angry at that comment. So we get to the house, I went to the bedroom, and then he came, I was like, can I sit next to you? Can I spend time with you? I was like, no, go out, I don't want to be with you. Then he asked, what's wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Did I say something wrong? I was losing my mind, but I said, no, nothing's wrong. Just leave me alone. Get out. And then he came, he was ready now to order the food. He was like, what should I order for you? And I was still hurt from the I look fat comment. So I was like, order me nothing. Order whatever you want. Don't order for me. The hunger. Guys, I didn't eat anything that whole day. And the thing is, I had made a decision not to eat because the plan was that we were going to go out, right? So I was like, I don't need to eat all of this. Let me make room for when we go out. But we didn't go out, and now I was stuck there with my hunger. So now it was time to sleep. He gets in bed and he starts tossing and turning. So at first I was like, whatever, do you? But eventually the tossing and turning started getting on my nerves. So I was like, what's wrong? Are you okay? Then he's like, I'm feeling unwanted. I wasn't surprised that he was feeling unwanted because I did that on purpose to make him feel unwanted. I'm a girl. And girls are professionals at making people feel unwanted. You know, if you think about it, we've been doing that since preschool. That's how little cliques start, by making sure that other girls don't feel welcome into this clique. They feel unwanted, like it was on purpose. It wasn't by accident. We eventually got to speak about it and all of that. So what I found out was that in me canceling the plans that we had made, it made him feel unimportant in my life, like he didn't matter, and that's why I could just easily cancel our plans just like that. That hurt him, but he didn't tell me that it hurt him. And while we were taking the pictures, when he made that comment of, yeah, I do look fat, that was coming from a place of hurt because of the cancelled plans. And when he said that, it hurt me, and I did not communicate the hurt. You know, I just decided to be angry and make him feel unwanted. So at the end, we wasted a whole day, and that could have been a beautiful setup, because you don't need to go out to enjoy your spouse. Like, we could have made a whole picnic situation in the house with the food that he would have ordered and still have a beautiful time. But because we all had our little hurts and none of those hurts were discussed or communicated, a whole day was wasted. So when we're talking about it, my husband came up with the suggestion that if you are hurt, instead of saying nothing is wrong, you can say, you know, something is wrong, but I'm not ready to talk about it yet. Can you please give me some time? Then we'll talk about it. So what that does is it gives the other person security to know that, okay, I'm not imagining things. Something is wrong, and this something will be addressed, and it will be fixed. You need to make sure that when you are the one saying what it is that hurt you, don't say it in the heat of the moment, because if you do that, you definitely will say some hurtful things to get some revenge, because you are still angry or hurt or sad or disappointed or whatever it is. So take some time, deal with it internally, so that by the time you guys are talking, you are not shouting at each other, and it's not a big fight where nothing gets resolved anyways, but instead it just makes you angrier. It's a point where it can be discussed in a mature manner where everyone is understanding and all of that. And take care that you are not using an accusing tone when you are saying what it is that hurt you or made you angry. So stay away from phrases like, you never 1, 2, 3, or you always do this. Instead, use edifying, encouraging, motivating words. So let's say you're angry because the dishes are not washed. So don't come in there with the, you never wash the dishes. Instead, find a way of, you know, I'd really appreciate it if you wash the dishes. It would make me feel good. Could you please wash the dishes? So it's the same thing, just different wording. So in this time of hurt, anger, whatever it is that you're going through, make sure that you don't go venting to your girlfriends, your mom, your sister, your cousins, whoever your confidant is. Because why are you venting? You're only venting so someone can confirm that your spouse is wrong and you are right. You basically want a feel-good session. But what's going to happen is that eventually you are going to get over that hurt. You're going to get over that disappointment. You will forgive your spouse, but the thing is, you will have opened room for everyone else to disrespect not only your spouse but your marriage. No one will be able to take your marriage seriously. You will regret it. So make sure that you keep this between you and your spouse. Always make sure that wherever you go, you are honoring your spouse. It doesn't matter how big a fight you had before you got to your mother's house. You never let anyone know that you guys are going through a moment of communication breakdown. Always protect your marriage. Always protect your spouse. And when you are the one being told what you did wrong, listen with the intention of understanding how and why it hurt the person. It's not a moment for you to defend yourself. Just listen so that you can avoid using those phrases or whatever it is that hurt them, so that the next time you can communicate in a way that is not hurtful to the other person. And also have empathy. When someone is telling you what it is that you did or said to hurt them, don't be like, oh, but that's not a big deal. Get over it. It may not be a big deal to you, but obviously to them it is. Otherwise, they wouldn't be hurt. So have that understanding and take ownership. You hurt them. Okay, how can we fix this? Always have empathy. Thank you for watching.